What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management. Happy weekend, happy new month, and happy new quarter. So in this video, I'm going to be looking at a few things we did in the Discord this past week. I'll be looking at a few different stocks that we have traded or we've entered plays in. And of course, I'll be reviewing a couple of different stocks which I'm going to be watching for not only this upcoming week, but also this upcoming month. Now, I do want to say probably either Sunday, so tomorrow, or Monday, I'll upload my usual watch list video for the week. But this video is more of a review of a few different stocks which we have traded this past week, and again, a couple of stocks to watch this upcoming week. As always, you can come and join the Discord for free trading every single day, and we're also doing a study session tonight, so come and tune in for that one as well. But to get into today's video, here you can see I have an article on AT&T. Now, whoever's in the Discord knows about this. AT&T are doing an announcement this upcoming week on the 5th of April. It might even be the 4th of April. 1 second. Yes, 5th of April. But they're announcing details of a spin-off that they're doing, right? And a lot of people are anticipating this stock to drop. So this stock is currently around $23, $24. Not sure. We'll look at it in a second. But people are anticipating it dropping to $18, $17, maybe even $16. So that's a $5, $6, $7 drop. Now, just to put that into context, right? That is around 25 to 30% of the stock's value. So if that does happen and you're in puts, let's say, if you trade options, you could be in a position to make a lot of money. On the other hand, overall AT&T, right, this stock has been going down over the past few years. It's been pretty stagnant, but slowly declining. I think they've slashed their dividend a couple times in that period of time as well. And so honestly, I'm a shareholder of this stock. It doesn't really do much. Now, if you don't have the dividend, well, if they didn't have the dividend, I would honestly look at this stock / company as pretty much useless, honestly. Now, let me quickly just jump into TradingView so we can have a look at AT&T stock, because I think it could get interesting. A lot of people in the Discord, like I said, have got into puts, and some are currently up, some are currently down, depending on where they got in. But I know this week, AT&T was doing some weird movements. Some of the puts were up 300, 400%. Some of the puts suddenly were down a few percent the next day, obviously because the stock rose up. But if you look at the stock now, look at this. I mean, earlier this year it was $27, right? Now it's $23, $23.98. If we look back at the past year, this is a daily chart. It went from being around $30 last April to highs of $34, and then it's just been downtrending since. So it's been very clearly bearish. So let's say you do want to trade puts right now, right? It is slightly above the moving average right now. And let's say it drops below. I don't know where it will drop to, but I see a level of, well, I see a low around 21.89, but also potential for a drop much lower if it breaks below that point. Again, the announcement is this week, so it's going to be really interesting to see how the stock behaves up until that day. But I also want to point out the past few days, it's just been slowly uptrending, very slightly, very slowly, but it has been uptrending. See how it hit lows of, let me zoom in to the 1 hour chart. See how it hit lows of $23.24, then ran up to $24.20, then sold off. It's had very strange behavior, and obviously the last few days of the week it started to rise again, and it ended the week slightly up, 1.48%. But I just wanted to put that out there for anyone who's not in the Discord and anyone who wants to just kind of have an idea, have a feel of what we've been talking about in the Discord. This is definitely one of the plays to watch this upcoming week. Now, this past week, you guys may have seen a few stocks like AMC and GameStop went crazy once again. Just look at that. From the lows of $20, it jumped up to highs of $31. So it jumped like 35% in 1 week. Well, in a few days actually. And obviously it sold off heavily after. So why did I bring this up? GameStop is the same. Why did I bring this up? Because in a market like this, it's already tough enough to make profits and make gains. When trading meme stocks as well, it's even harder to make gains. So if you do catch one of these run-ups from like $98, $100, all the way up to highs of $164, $170, you definitely want to try and be taking your profits or scaling out of trades along the way. So I just wanted to put out there because I know a lot of people got into GameStop or AMC late, and they said, "Oh, AMC is going to $40 or GameStop's going to $200 something dollars," and it sold off. Please, if you are going to trade these meme stocks, be extremely careful. Scale out of your positions. Don't get in after they've blown up. Obviously, wait for any kind of pullbacks towards moving averages. Even I know a little bit of technical analysis can still work with these meme stocks, but please do be careful if you trade those. Now let's have a look at the overall market. Let's look at the S&P 500 index, SPX here. So this past week, I'm going to go into the 4-hour chart for this. Let's look at this past week. So we were, in fact, I'm going to go back to the 1 hour. So this is the week we had, right? It started rallying and then it started pulling back towards the moving average. So why am I highlighting this? Why am I pointing this out? Because I think there's a little bit more downside to come towards this moving average around here. So that's 4487 for SPX. I think this rally, this run over the past 2 weeks from the middle of March to end of March showed that, okay, the S&P 500 index was strong, but look at the RSI here. It was overextended. And now, okay, we're at a more suitable level to obviously get into any position. But like I said, it had ran up so quickly over the past 2 weeks that it was due a sell-off. It was due a pullback. And I did mention this in my weekly watch list. I said, be careful. We've been green back-to-back weeks, 8-9 days in a row. Be wary of a pullback. Be wary of a sell-off. And that's exactly what's happened. So why am I saying this now? Because if you zoom in on the 1 hour chart, we're at a point where people are like, you know what? We started uptrending again. It might be good to take a position again, to buy and hold. Well, not necessarily. Two things could happen. First of all, we could open up Monday in the red again and downtrend towards this level I just pointed out a second ago. Or we could even get rejected at this moving average here and then start downtrending. So I do want to highlight that, yes, we've had a great run. We've had a great couple weeks. But I believe there's still more downside before the next push. Ideally, everyone would have got in at the double bottom right here before the explosion, right? But it's all good. Because if you zoom out on a chart like this, you can see that there's still so much potential for recovery. Look at the levels we were at earlier, beginning of this year. 4,750, 4,820. Now we're at 4,550. So we still got potential to make new highs eventually. And if you zoom out even more, remember, always zoom out. You'll see that, hey, we're still lower, or we're still at similar levels to where we were in September. So you're not missing out on anything. That's 7 months ago, right? Yeah, you're not missing out on anything. So please be wary of that. But like I said, I'm expecting a bit more downside on the S&P 500 index this week. Same with the US 100, same sort of thing. Pull back towards this moving average here. And the NASDAQ as well, or sorry, the Dow Jones as well. Same kind of thing. Dow Jones is a little bit closer to the moving average. But just be wary of that. Now let's have a look at some stocks to watch for April, the month of April. First of all, I'm going to go with PayPal. I think this is way oversold and it has been climbing back. But as always, my level is 118.29 to take a position for calls or even for the buy and hold. It has recovered nicely from the lows of $95, $96 a couple weeks back. But hey, there's still plenty of potential upside. And this is definitely a stock I would like to purchase in April because, again, if we zoom out, look at the daily chart. If we zoom out, look at that, $300, $200. We got 100% potential returns here. So PayPal is definitely one of my stocks to watch. Another one is Facebook because this sold off heavily in Q1 this year. Look at that. I'm already a shareholder on Facebook, but it's always nice to get more shares at a cheaper price. Now, obviously, if I was to buy shares of Facebook at this price, that would actually be me averaging up because I got in around 150. But like I said, again, this offers 60-70% return on your money, on your investment. So Facebook is definitely at a nice level to look for buying opportunities. It's also just above my level for calls around 220.63. If I zoom in and show you guys a little bit closer. So looking at the 1 hour chart, there you see Facebook has broken above my levels for calls and it's starting to downtrend towards it again. But if I do see a bounce around 220.63, that'd be a nice price point to purchase at. Also, Roblox, ticker symbol RBLX. I've mentioned this one in so many videos and I'm going to mention it again. You see those magical lines, the yellow, the blue, and the yellow, and the blue, all at 70s, the 80s, the $90 range. Guess what? Roblox is now at $45, and it might not necessarily run up to these levels in April or in Q2. But I feel like with all they're doing and with the stock itself,
when it does finally get going, it can get back up to the highs of 70s, the 80s, and that's a 90 to 100% potential return for you. So if I can see it maybe pull back towards the low 40s, high 30s again, I'll definitely look at buying into this during April. And I think long term, I mean, even if it doesn't get back up to the highs that I've written on the chart, I'm sure it gets back to the levels of the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. And that is all you need to make a profit with these kind of stocks. A few more now. I'm going to start with Netflix. And remember, this is just a brief run through. I will make another video kind of giving more of an explanation into why I'm looking at certain of these stocks. But Netflix is a similar story to Roblox. You zoom out, just look at the daily chart. We have potential to run back up to the $600 range, the $700 range. We have so much potential for recovery, and Netflix is currently at 373. If I zoom in to see where it was during March, it dropped down to 330. 330, guess what? When you hit this gap up, that's 80% of your money back already. It doesn't take a lot for a stock to start rallying again. Maybe just be a bit of news. Maybe it's just maybe a Squid Game kind of series that pops off and everyone's like, yep, I'm watching this. I don't know. It could be anything. The smallest thing can make these stocks gap up just the same way they can just drop down. It just takes one day for a stock to jump up, a stock like Netflix to jump up 40, 50 points in one day. Of course, we're going to look at AMD. Is in the tech sector, and if you ever want to get a kind of idea of what AMD could be doing or expected to do, you can look at the Qs as well. But AMD is right now at $108. Here's my magic lines for the buying points: $99, $95. If we get back down there, that's where I will be buying for a long-term buy and hold. Again, up to the highs of 164, a 70, 80, 85% return on your investment. And I would love that. So, I mean, this is one of those stocks where I'm pretty certain this drops back down to the $100 level this month. And like I said, there's so much potential for recovery back up to these levels. All the different levels you see I've marked out here on my chart. I mean, obviously those levels are marked out for trading purposes, but it doesn't take away the fact that I'm looking at buying and holding AMD for long term. Of course, in between there'll be opportunities for puts, calls, all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I just wanted to put this on your radar. Lastly but not least, Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. So this is currently above where I would like to purchase. Remember, it had like 9 or 10 solid green days back to back to back. And if we can get back down to the 150s, 160s, I'll definitely look at buying in. So here, I actually expected Apple to continue running up towards the $182 level. But hey, the RSI was overextended. The stock had been running so many days in a row. It was due for a little bit of a pullback, and that's exactly what happened. Now, if we downtrend, I'll look to see it stabilize around 172 level. If not, then 167, my next level to watch. But I would love to buy Apple for a long-term buy and hold. Do you know why? Well, it's simple. Zoom out. Over the past year, Apple is up. Over the past 2 years, Apple is up. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, Apple is up. Look at the beautiful uptrend. Of course, along the way, you have your nice ups and downs. But if you look back at 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, Apple has risen 50, 60, 70, 80%, 100% since those times. I mean, this one's pretty much a no-brainer. With all Apple are doing, which all Apple continue to do, we know that long-term this stock is probably going to continue rising. $200, $250 in the next couple of years.
I will have another video either tomorrow night, Sunday, or Monday morning pre-market with a few stocks to watch for this upcoming week. As I mentioned, the full watch list will be available in the Discord. As always, you guys can come through to the Discord. The link is in the description below. And I do want to say, Q1 is down, guys. We had a great Q1. I think it was one of the toughest Q1s, or in fact, the toughest quarters I've had since I've been in the market. So if you survive that, I honestly think you can survive anything if you keep going. As always, please do check out the Stock Option Starter Pack. That is 10 videos you guys will have access to for life. A few people grabbed that this week, so I know they're getting stuck into that this weekend. And lastly but not least, guys, make sure to be back here next time for another video. Thanks a lot for watching today's video. Have a great Saturday. I got money making, you got money making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.